You're not exactly a pole vaulter or a swimmer, but your journey is nonetheless, it still is important, it's still impressive. And I was thinking about Sherry's comment about sometimes you have to do that same step again to get there. How many times do you think these athletes prepare and do the same race again and again? So don't feel defeated by that. Every step you take and every time you pass one, it's just another step in that journey to get you where you want to be and where everybody wants to be in life. So my hat's off to you. I am so impressed with everything you do. The staff, I have to thank the staff at Front Steps, because the staff is one of the treasures of an organization like this, because a lot of organizations don't have the staff like we have. Nonprofits are sometimes all volunteers, and that's harder, but with the staff you have is impressive. So if you don't do anything else tonight, could you give a round of applause for the staff? I know. So my parting word to you guys, was think of your life as a journey, trying to get from here to here and to here. And every time you get somewhere, look ahead for the next step, because there's another next step, and there's another next step to where you want to be. So congratulations to every one of you. This is my favorite event, and the family that are here, I am so proud to have you here because it's so exciting for me. So thank you and enjoy your dinner.
Outstanding art therapy program, and is very well received by the residents and by the community. We also was recently awarded a 3-year certification with CARP. Yay! And what that certification says about Front Steps is it recognizes us as an agency of excellence. And we are going to work that out, right? So some of the other services that we offer promote health and wellness, socialization, healing, growth and development, obtaining and sustaining self-sufficiency, as well as an awesome case management team and employment specialist. So, with that, in the future, as the days and weeks and months roll on, we're going to be implementing other services that will enhance our clients and encourage them towards self-sufficiency. So, hang on and get ready for the ride, because it's going to be very enjoyable. But without much ado, because we are time limited, we have a very special guest speaker, and her name is Sheila Burt. So I don't know Ms. Burt. However, I understand that she was former client with Front Steps, formerly known as Transitional Housing. But Ms. Burt is a 49-year-old African-American woman who is actively recovering from alcoholism and substance use disorder. But at one point in her life, she found herself in need of the very services that she so selflessly advocates today for the women in her life. She is currently the intake specialist at the well-known Hitchcock Center for Women on Ansel Road in Cleveland, under the tutelage of Executive Director Mary Daisy, where her journey first began in April of 2010. After residential treatment, it was at that point she desired something more for her life. She then went on to become a resident at Front Steps, formerly known as Transitional Housing, where she lived for a year. Sheila developed a passion for doing this work because at what was the absolute lowest point in her life, she somehow found hope through the services that was provided during her time at Hitchcock and THI as a client. So it's because of this life-changing experience that Ms. Burt is the woman she is today, a phenomenal woman. And so we want to welcome her as she brings to us her experience, her strength, and her hope.
So I wrote a speech and I tore it up. And then I wrote another speech and I tore that one up. And something inside me said, just what comes from the heart reaches the heart. I would first like to personally thank Ms. Brandon for inviting me to speak at such a significant event. I would like to personally thank Ms. Denise Jackson for spearheading all of this nervousness. And I cannot go without acknowledging Donna Lee, who was my primary case manager when I was a resident at THI. And we spent countless hours together. And as the introduction stated, I was at the absolute lowest point in my life. After battling substance abuse for over 30 years, not being gainfully employed, unable to be a mom to my son, I had made a decision that I did. I wanted to change my life because I knew at that time, if I didn't, death was an absolute for me. I went into treatment, Hitchcock Center for Women, completed treatment, but left there with absolutely no skills, no knowledge on how to conduct myself in society as an adult, as a productive adult, which is why, again, I made the decision to move into THI, Front Steps, formerly known as THI, excuse me. When I got there, each and every staff person welcomed me. They loved on me until I could, learn to love on myself. I had no job skills. As I said before, I had never been gainfully employed. They had a phenomenal job readiness class. And in that class, I can remember we would do mock interviews, and I would excel at the mock interview. And then I said, well, I haven't had a job. And I have a whole host of felons. Who is going to hire me? And the job readiness specialist at that time gave me so much encouragement and just continued to sow into me, as all the staff did there. I was able to find a job, and I was able to keep a job. I was able to overcome some of the significant barriers that I had at that time. And had it not been, again, for the staff at this phenomenal agency, I would not stand here before you today. They taught me how to save money, how to budget money, and I must be honest, I'm still unmanageable in that area. But in progress, not perfection, right? But they at Front Steps, they're absolutely going to give you everything that you need, but you have to do some work as well. It does not come by osmosis. They will guide you, they will cheerlead for you, they will support you, but they cannot do it unless you want it to be done. When I got to this point in my life, there had been so many things that would have kept me from excelling. And I stand here today to tell you, you got a hope shot right now. If you have any courage, if you have any fortitude, strive for whatever it is you want to do. Because I absolutely, when I made a decision to walk away from that lifestyle that was destructive, I didn't know which way my life was going to go. I had no clue that the blessings and the opportunities that have been given to me would come. This is absolutely the work of a higher power. And if you don't have one, I suggest you get one. I don't know what else to say except for thank you, thank you, thank you. If I can encourage one, please take that and encourage another. This is why I do the work that I do, to advocate for women, to support women and men, that struggle with whatever it is. It doesn't have to be substance use. It could be a whole host of things. But just know that if you continue to do the next right thing, blessings are going to come for you. Thank you.
that little dance? I want you to look at those tickets because I'm going to call a number and you're going to have to what? Come on down. Okay. The last three numbers are 654. 654. Come on, Queen. Come on up. Come on, Queen. All right. You are welcome to go to the table. You deserve. All right, are you ready for this? All right. The last three numbers are 663. 663. Oh, come on. You are a winner, of course. You are a winner, of course. Oh, well, you're a winner tonight, for sure. All right. You're welcome. The next three numbers is 673. 673. I know you have it. You got it. 673. 673. Where are you? 673? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you. You are a winner. Okay, you're more than welcome. Okay, the next number is 662. Hey! Come on now, please. Come on, baby. You got it. You are a winner, honey. You are definitely a winner. You're a winner to me. Okay, I believe this is the last one. All right, we got a grand prize going on here. Are we ready for this grand prize here? Y'all see it? You see it? Okay. It's a Louis, ladies. It's a Louis. Men, you better get this Louis or we're good getting somebody this Louis. Okay, that number is 666. The oldest of her four children, she followed the footsteps of her father, attorney William D. Moore, who built a practice dedicated to helping low and middle class working families. Education was always emphasized in growing up, recalls Judge Moore, who graduated from Shaker High School and received her bachelor's degree in English from Spelman College. That's great. The allure of family and a law school scholarship prompted her return to Cleveland, where she attended Case Western Reserve University, yes, to earn her Juris Doctorate. Having passed the Ohio State Bar in 1987, Lauren embarked on a political career where she served as both a civil attorney and public defender at the Legal Aid Society. She credits this experience as helpful in maintaining her focus on public service. The people at the Legal Aid were a major influence on me, says Judge. The commitment was truly contagious. Lauren's dedication to helping indigent clients was acknowledged by the Claude E. Clark Award she received for outstanding services. Other honors received include UNICEF Eagle Award, the Phenomenal Woman Foundation Award, NCNW Meritus Service Award, Murtis Taylor's Ebony Rose Award, Phi Delta Kappa Award for outstanding service and support of our school youth in the greater Cleveland area. She served as chief prosecutor for the city of Cleveland and as an assistant county prosecutor. Her ultimate goal of becoming a judge materialized when she was elected to the Cleveland Municipal Court in 2003. Clearly, the breadth and depth of this experience has also given me the well-roundedness, capability, and credibility to be an effective judge. Judge Moore is very involved in the community and participates in several mentoring programs. She is particularly proud of the Get On Track program she co-founded and implemented to provide a positive experience for young people convicted of misdemeanor offenses. The program helps them return to their lives through community service, education, and lifestyle training. She also chairs the mock trial competition for the Cleveland Municipal School District, where students enjoy increasing their awareness of law by enacting fictional cases. Lauren is an active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, Alpha Omega chapter, in which she chaired the first coalition, Jack and Jill of America, Inc., and the Ludlow Community Association. She is also a member of Ohio Bar Association and the Cleveland Municipal Bar Association, where she serves on the Board of Trustees. Judge Moore is married to Brian E. Siggers, a supervisor in the Probation Department, Cleveland Municipal Court. They have 2 children. She is a member of Transfiguration Evangelical Church, is an avid reader who has a vast collection of African American literature, and enjoys writing, playing tennis, and going to the movies. My, you are one busy judge. So, with nothing else from me, we welcome the Honorable Judge.
Evening, stars. A night out with the stars, I see. A pleasure to be here. First, I'd like to thank Denise Doggett. Where did Denise go? There's Denise. She's the one who invited me here for this auspicious occasion. When she told me it was the Front Steps organization, that the audience would be young adults who were graduating or transitioning after an amazing life skills journey, I immediately said yes. Because I try to be such a cheerleader for people who have transcended their circumstances and triumphed over great odds. Plus, I knew that Denise would only be affiliated with the most worthwhile initiatives. So thank you, Ms. Doggett. Still, I had to do a little homework so I could see for myself what this organization was about. I had that aha moment when I realized that Front Steps used to be transitional housing, and that it provides permanent supportive housing and programs and services to homeless men, women, and children. I didn't know that it was established in 1986 and that it was the first of its kind in the country to service homeless and disabled women. 1986, that was a long time ago. I was still in law school, still had dreams of being a lawyer and a judge and impacting people's lives in my community. And it was also the same year that we had Hands Across America. You remember that? A Whitney Houston song, The Greatest Love of All, was #1 on the R&B charts. So some of you may remember that Hands Across America had 6.5 million people across the country join hands in a human chain to raise money to help people stuck in poverty. I only knew in an abstract sense that the Front Steps organization was a noble agency that did what some people would consider the Lord's work. I didn't know that transitional housing, or Front Steps as it's now called, has served over 3,500 individuals and families. I must say, I'm glad that the name was changed I like front steps much better. It conjures up pictures of the front porch, of all those homey things that people did on the front porch, like shelling peas with your grandmother, or drinking ice cold sweet tea with your friends if you live down south. If you lived up north, you played jacks on the front porch. That's what I did. Played jacks on the front porch. And you just watched your neighbors walk by and called to them and they said hi back and all that. In any event, the front porch means you were at home, that you had some place to be when the street lights came on. The front steps led to a door that led to a bed that you called your own, a place at the dinner table, a spot to watch your television. It was a place of comfort, safety, and security. And everyone should have some front steps to sit down on and daydream and figure out what your next move is going to be. Thank goodness for the Front Steps Project. Thank goodness we have people who understand the necessity of giving people and families who are down on their luck a place to live and a way to maintain or reclaim their dignity. Thank goodness there are people who realize that before the grace of God go I. And while anybody can give someone shelter or a place to stay, Front Steps also provides the supportive services, including the life management and workforce training and financial literacy and other specialized assistance. It's so wonderful that this organization gives people the fish, but also teaches them how to fish. One of my favorite things to say is that success is the best revenge. The fact that we have these graduates today, these stars, having improved their lives with determination and perseverance, means that you beat the odds. That you prove to the naysayers that yes, you can overcome. That people need to look at you and not through you. That you are worthy of respect and compassion, and yes, admiration. Homelessness, whether from addiction, some bad choices, or just bad luck, is a condition that many people in our society feel scornful about. And people don't realize that they too can be one paycheck, one plant closure, one medical diagnosis, or geographic calamity away from being homeless themselves. Homelessness is something that can happen. People think that it can only happen to the other guy. However, people in Hurricane Katrina probably didn't think they would be homeless. People who are in the California wildfires right now probably didn't think they would be homeless. And people in Louisiana right now probably don't know where they're going to go or where they're going to work because their houses and their jobs are obliterated from the flooding. And not everyone can recover quickly and miraculously. So I'm the drug court judge at Cleveland Municipal Court. I'm the Greater Cleveland Drug Court judge. And I see people who also have the disease of addiction. I see it every week. Tomorrow's my drug court day. And when I talk to them, many of them say they didn't think that that first drink of alcohol or that first smoke of cocaine or the first time they shot up heroin would mean that they would have to deal with a lifetime of addiction. In Spokane, Washington, for example, they have a law prohibiting sitting and lying down in the street. That is, unless you are sitting and lying outside the Apple store waiting for the new iPhone, then it's okay. In Honolulu, Hawaii, a city that combines an insanely high cost of living and not a lot of low-income housing, a significant segment of society has no permanent place to live. They have a big homelessness problem in Hawaii. I don't know if you're aware. And a state representative thought that I'm tired of these homeless people. I'm just going to go and vandalize their shopping carts. And that's what he did. He took a sledgehammer and was just like slamming their shopping carts, and they wouldn't have a place to put their possessions and all that. He actually did that. And I don't know if you all were aware, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, there was a 90-year-old man who was going around feeding homeless people. And they were arresting him. And he kept going back out and feeding them when they're hungry. And they kept arresting him. So society can be cruel. They don't care about homeless people for the most part. And if we're serious about ending homelessness, we need to take a good look at the policies we're putting in place. And it means a lot of changes in public policy. It doesn't mean just a few well-meaning people with their blessing bags and their mobile shower inventions. That's all good, but it's not enough. And the punishing of the homeless, whether through public shaming or through legal measures, does not tackle the problem. I think it exacerbates it. Because it's not a crime to be homeless. But they do some outrageous things to show that they're not going to tolerate homeless people. And the police are pressured to run the homeless away, so the people going into the casino or the people coming into town for a convention won't be scared away. And then the people come to court, they might stay in jail, they might be forced to pay fines, and it makes it more difficult for them to get together their first and last month's rent. And we in the court system have to be mindful of this. And also if they get more cases, then it makes it more difficult for them to get vetted by a potential landlord. So we in the criminal justice system, we have to keep that in mind. And we have to make sure that we're not complicit in this criminalization of homeless people. Of course, we also have to remind the people who come before us that you do have to mind your public behavior so the officers won't turn their focus on them and decide to engage with them. Because people living in the margins can't do what the tailgaters do, or the people in the flats do, or the people on West 6th or East 4th do. And that's not fair, but it is true, and I see it every day. So I'm thankful that Front Steps is here. I'm so glad that so many people have gotten the mental health services that they need, that they've gone back to school and obtained that GED, or a vocation, or a trade, or even a career. I'm so glad people have found life coaches to help them discover what it is they want to do in this life and how to go about doing it. Pat yourselves on the back for figuring out how to access resources and follow through with a plan, for allowing people to help you help yourself, for realizing that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, for digging deep and reacquainting yourself with that young person you used to be, who wanted to be a nurse or a teacher or Barack or Michelle. Because that person never left, and that person will always be with you. You are to be applauded for not giving up even though things are hard, for being selfless because there are other people involved, children, parents, siblings, good friends who want to see you succeed. And you didn't just take the easy way out and do nothing. So many people get so weighted down with despair and hopelessness that they do nothing. I see it every day. And it takes a strong person to make the decision that they're not going to let life beat them up anymore. Because life can be cruel, and you have to stand up to life. Thumbs up for doing what celebrities like Dr. Phil and Drew Carey and Tyler Perry and even Halle Berry did. They lived out of their car because they couldn't get a job and they couldn't catch a break. I don't know if everybody knows that, but they did. And they didn't give up. Congratulations to all of you who exemplified the Front Steps mission and transformed your lives to end the cycle of homelessness and dysfunction. You will be a role model and a blessing to others who are trying to get where you are. Because it is important that we reach back as we climb. I was also happy to read on the website about Pacola Williams. Is she here? Pacola Williams, I see that she started out at Front Steps in 2008, and with the support of Front Steps and the Front Steps residents, she was able to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and is working on her PhD. I mean, that is fantastic. And she's definitely reaching back as she climbs. So again, I want to express how impressed I am with all of you who have worked hard and have so much to live for and to strive for. I love it when people come up to me in the grocery store and tell me that I've changed their lives, I've turned their lives around. And I have to tell them that they were the ones who actually did the work, and I was just the impetus. I told them to try, and they put the into it. So they were able to triumph. You like that? So together we got that triumph. So thank you all for triumphing today. And I'd like to end with the lyrics of Whitney Houston from 1986 when we started the transitional housing. Because I think it's an appropriate testament to what we're witnessing here today. And forgive me, I am not going to sing it because I'm not a singer. But I do like the lyrics and I think that they are appropriate. So the greatest love of all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be, and so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. Inside of me, the greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself. It is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, find your strength in love. Thank you and God bless you.
Come on.
Hi family, most of you already know me, I'm Leslie. No, all I want to do is just tell you to be encouraged. Now I was in my car the other day and I thought about, it's the time where I meditate, that quiet time, because my job is driving. But I thought about where I had come from. And all of a sudden it hit me while I was driving. If y'all can imagine me putting my car over and dancing, that's where I was at. I was in that frame of mind because I had come from and come through. I had been watched over the whole of my life. From where I came from when I got to transitional housing, which is now Front Steps, I didn't know anything. I had forgotten everything that I had been brought up and learned. But they kept me, they encouraged me, they poured into me. And they still did. And even after I left, they saw me off on my way. I got hired from the front desk at Front Steps. I got hired into the job that I still have today. If I can just encourage you, just hold on. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on God. And trust and believe that Front Steps will not give up on you.
Tonight, just know that you are somebody. That you are a rising star, not a falling star. That you come from the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lowest place that you have been. And now that star is a beaming star where everybody can see it shine. Don't give up. Don't give up. I don't know if we have a singer tonight, but she's going to encourage you. You can come on. She's going to encourage you. I hope you guys can get inspired from this song, knowing that you can rise up. And I was told this has been your theme song, so hopefully you guys can sing it with me or just, just be encouraged by it, all right? All right. Ooh.
so blessed tonight. A lot of times when we're working in the community, sometimes we don't see a lot of our successes coming back. But tonight I'm really excited to just see that people's lives change, regardless to what it looks like. Things can change within, just flip and change for you and your life can get better. So I'm excited to see that people are doing great things, that they're working and housing and just such nice things. I'm excited because we're partnering with Front Steps. And when I was coming out to see my sister, one of the 6 of us in our family, and then 3 of them struggled. I mean, they were out there. And when they talk about it being a heroin epidemic, my family was in the one when it was in the 80s. And I'm talking about, I tell people in a minute, I know the one when they stand and they scratching and talking and they standing there for about 10 minutes and you look over them, you're like, well, what the heck is going on? And then they start the conversation right back up and you look again and they stop again and they stuck again and they start talking again. And the devastation on a family. And then we're here again. But the thing about it this time is that we're fighting harder. And we need everybody saying, not this time. Not the devastation that it did years ago, just completely devastated families. We can't do it again. So I'm glad that we have our partnership that we have. And we're located at 1226 East 79th. So for the ladies who can't get on this side of town, they have no excuse. Miss Doggett comes every Monday. And it was unique because as I was telling my sister, she said, well, where you going? I said, well, it's over at Front Steps. She said, you talking about that place that I had to stay for a year? I said, yeah. The place that changed my life? I said, yes. She said, well, they still, I said, yes, and they're doing great things. Then I think they just worked with women. I think now you have complete families, right? Families can come, so that's even better because we don't have to split the families up. So we're excited to be our partnership and that women can come and work on getting their job skills. I tell them they have no excuse. Miss Doggett is awesome. I've known her and her husband over, and that's like just God works. Because when I first got said, couldn't be, it just couldn't be. And to know that it's the same couple that my sister used to work with her husband over 30 years ago. I mean, just how he got and lined some stuff up. And when we sit there sometimes when she's sitting talking and the energy that she puts into her work, you can't help but love her. I'm so excited about the partnership. I truly love Ms. Doggett and working with our women, and I'm excited about it. So I'm glad that you have all of the rising stars tonight. Continue to do great things, and God is able.
Great, 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 great. You know, I think we have some raffle to give.
Oh, yeah.
And while, yes, I'm the executive director, but I didn't do it by myself. I first had to have a board that will work just as hard as I was willing to work, to fight just as hard as I was willing to fight, and to be tenacious and stubborn enough not to give up. So I'm going to have my former board president, come up here with me. Because, yeah, it was this lady who didn't let go. We have a new president now, but it was this lady who fought for 8, 9, 10 years for us to get to where we are now. Come on, we can do better than that. my staff to stand up, please. Because they have worked so hard, very hard every day to believe. And I really appreciate your efforts, your hard work, your dedication, your faith, your prayers, and most of all, for coming to work every day. Every day. So, you guys got a rock. You're just going to pick me up when you get your rock. Wow. Now, I just picked this rock up. And I just picked it. Mine says persistence.
Mine says hope.
So as long as she has hope, then I'm going to persist. I'm going to keep moving. Because if my board has hope and my board has faith, then it's my job to persevere. Now, I don't know what your rock says, but every time you get in a point where you low in your life, you pick that rock up and you hold your rock and you read your rock and you be encouraged by your little rock, because this little rock will bring a great deal for your life. So with that, we wish you well. We are so proud of the stars that are here. Enjoy your journey. Continue on. And with that, I say good night.